Hello and welcome to part 2 of my video series, Meet the Horses. If you're new here, my name is Brandi, and this channel is all about horses and my journey with horsemanship. And this is our barn kitty, Lila. A lot of people ask if this is a Maine Coon cat or, they ramble off some fancy breeds of cats, and I'm like, this is, 20th generation barn cat right here. Nothing fancy, just barn kitty. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you my absolute favorite horse, my personal horse. I have a few personal horses. Here, Lila kitty. But this one is hands down my favorite horse. And so I'm really excited to introduce this one. Here we go. Here she is. This is Blossom. And now don't mind my ragamuffin of a horse. Oh my gosh, I did zero grooming. I literally just pulled her in from the pasture. Hey, Blossom. And so she is a muddy, muddy mess. Look at all that mud. But this is a great reason to have dark horses, because this time of year, oh my gosh, it is the end of December in the Midwest, and it is crazy weather. We had 40-degree temperatures today and sun, and it was absolutely beautiful, like a nice fall day. Usually we have a couple feet of snow, so very unseasonable, muddy weather. All right, Blossom, let's turn you loose. Okay, here we go. All right, sweetheart, you are free to go. You're standing on the lead rope. Now, what I want to know is how many of you were surprised, come on, Blossom, that Blossom is my favorite horse. And she has a tendency to be a little on the spicy side, so we'll see. She doesn't look like she's very energetic at the moment, so we'll see. Now, one of the common comments I get is, why are your horse's tails so short? Well, I will say it over and over again. I cut my horse's tails in the fall, so the mud doesn't get soaked up in there. And what happens is they get big mud balls on their tail, and see how her tail's kind of flinging around her legs right there? Those mud balls will make it so the tail will get stuck around the legs. And that's very uncomfortable for the horse, so I don't like that. So I trim their tails up somewhere between the fetlock and the hock. Depends on the horse. Ponies typically get cut a lot shorter. All right, Blossom, let's move around a little bit. So Blossom was born in 2010, and she was bred and raised in North Dakota, and her registered name is Cadillac Cabrio. So she's going on 14, and her dam is a sorrel quarter horse mare. And her sire is a Cremello. I believe he's a Cremello. I'm not. Somebody always likes to correct me on colors of horses. So this horse is a buckskin. I can tell you that. She is a buckskin. And she's actually gotten a lot darker over the years, which is really funny. So Blossom, I've had her, let's see. I'm going to have to try to think about this. A very good friend of mine bought her. Look, doesn't she just have the most beautiful head you've ever seen? Yeah, she's so gorgeous, and she has a temperament to fit how pretty she is. She's missing the tip off of her ear. Just a tiny little, like, you'll see this one's a little bit rounded, and that one's pointy. You see that? She used to be boarded here. Okay, so a friend of mine bought her as a 2-year-old, got her just started, handful of rides on her really, and was boarding her here, and then I ended up with her, okay? So I ended up trading. And while she was boarded here, one of the other horses bit the tip of her ear off. I was there, I saw it. So she had perfect teeth marks on her cute little ear. So yeah, I took over ownership of her in 2018, I believe. And now I was so busy. I'm never planning to get another horse. They just always kind of show up in my life. Like none of my horses are planned. Look at how cute her little fuzzy, see if you can see that. Look at, she's got so much like mustache fuzz. None of my horses are really planned. They just kind of end up. I'm usually either helping somebody out or a horse just kind of comes along. I don't really pay anything. I didn't really pay anything for her. Like I said, I just kind of traded, I think I traded boarding actually at the time for the other horse that my friend had. But so yeah, Blossom just kind of came into my life. And then she was very green. She needed a lot of time on her when I got her. So, and of course, the trainer's horses always get put on the back burner. So with Blossom, I didn't have time for her at the time. And so I don't think I rode her for a whole year after taking her. I just kind of let her get adjusted to her new herd and hang out. And I started riding her in 2019. I was supposed to go to a Barb Gerbitz clinic in Illinois. And I was going to take Nakona, my Appaloosa mare. It was a colt starting clinic and also a riding clinic. So I brought a horse for the colt starting portion, and then I brought a horse for the riding portion. And Nakona was much more advanced, and she was the horse that I wanted to take. Because I always like to take the horses that, you know, when I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I need help now moving forward. So I felt like I kind of had plateaued with Nakona, and I was looking for extra help with her. Well, Nakona came up lame right before the clinic, and Blossom, I think I rode her twice, and then off to Illinois we went to ride in the clinic. So, and it actually was the best thing I possibly could have done because I had such a great time with her and learned so much about her and was able to work through some of the things that she needed help with. So yeah, so since 2019, she's been pretty much my main mount. Now, I can't say that I ride very much in the last couple years, but she's usually my go-to. Blossom is what I would still consider pretty green. So there was so much stuff that needed to be done with her when I got her, and I really didn't ride her much. So she's been like sporadically ridden over the course of 5 years that I've owned her? Something like that. So I can't say that I put like consistent time on her. So I still consider her pretty green. But I'm kind of fussy about stuff like that. So to me, she's pretty green. I have a lot of stuff to work on with her, tons. And that's okay, because I don't mind that at all. She's great on the trails. She gets spicy. She can kind of be like a fire-breathing dragon at times. I actually have a short of her doing her fire-breathing dragon impersonation. So I'll try to link that here somehow. So, all right, I'm gonna move her around a little bit so you can just kind of see how she moves, and I'll come up with a few things that I can tell you about her. All right, Blossom, time to move. I'm just gonna use a little flag here. Come on. I really haven't ridden her much. This year I took her on some trail rides, but I have not done much with her at all. I really slacked on riding this year, and she got really chunky. So she is the heaviest she's ever been right now, and I have a lot of work to do. I gotta get riding this mare. So I'm gonna ride her tonight in a group lesson with some kids, and I rode her yesterday. But so conformation wise, I absolutely love how this mare is put together. I love her brain. I love so much about her. The only thing that is difficult about her is she has no wither. So she is what's considered mutton withered, and it's very hard to fit a saddle on her because basically it's like strapping a saddle to a barrel. It rolls. So she doesn't have that nice wither to keep a saddle on well. Unlike Manzer has a very high wither. He'll be very easy to keep a saddle on. And same with Nika. Her wither is great. I've never had issues. Not really fun to ride them bareback, But this mare, on the other hand, riding her bareback, I kind of always feel like I'm going to end up on her neck because that wither is sort of not there. So let me see if I can get up there and I'll show you. Oh, girl. And her back is very flat right now too. So if you can see, it's just very flat. And you see this crease down her back? Yeah, that's because she's chubby. Look at that. Very flat back, very wide back. So she is very difficult to fit a saddle. She's so cute though. She's so cute. Blossom really loves to be groomed. She loves to have her belly scratched. She loves attention. She's a very sweet and personable mare. She's really good with other horses too in the herd. She has a tendency of wanting to kick out at them. If somebody gets too close behind her on a trail or something, she will kick out. So I always have to be aware of that. And she's quick about it. I have a very hard time catching her before she's gonna kick out. You know, because a lot of horses will give some indication that they're about to kick another horse, and she won't. So she just nails them. And for me, I ride with a lot of kids, so I'm always being very cautious to make sure that everybody pays attention to that sort of thing. And she's much better about it, but it's just one of those little quirks. Something else about Blossom is she is the gassiest horse I have ever known. This horse farts nonstop while you're riding, and like she's farting right now. You just can't. She's always farting, and I don't know what it is. She just eats hay. I don't feed her anything. You know, when I ride her, I'll give her supplements and stuff after, but for the most part, she only eats hay. She is just a gassy gal. A lot of people think she's a bay, but she's actually a buckskin. And she is so incredibly athletic. Like, as you can see when she throws those little bucks up in the air, it's just nothing for her. And she's one that if she doesn't get to move around enough, she will, she'll be standing in place and just rear straight in the air and then throw a buck up there at the same time. And I just can't believe how she can twist and turn in the air, and she's just super athletic. But unfortunately, with her little mutton withers that she has, I have to put my saddle on so much tighter than I want it to be, because when she does do her little, right now she's cross-firing. She's on one lead on the front, one lead on the back. Let's see if I can fix that. There, that's correct. Now she's cantering correctly. So yeah, I always have to make sure that my saddle is super tight on her, which I don't like to over tighten, but I really don't have an option. See, she's farting again. She's just always farting. Okay, let's see what else. I don't know. Blossom's just pretty dang perfect in my eyes. I really love her. And it's funny because, like I said, I had her for an entire year before I did anything with her. And then I just really saw the diamond that she really is after I had no choice but to take her to a clinic. I was not planning to take her to that clinic, but I'm so glad that I did, because ever since then I've just loved her. As far as riding goes, I have done just a very small amount of showing with Blossom, maybe a couple shows. I've taken dressage lessons, jumping lessons. I ride her English Western bareback. My favorite saddle to use on her is an endurance saddle. So she kind of does a little bit of everything, and that's kind of how I am. I like to do everything. That's why my business is called Versatile Horsemanship. I just couldn't decide. Now, I am not sponsored whatsoever, but I have to tell you, I'm a firm believer of if you like something, you tell the world kind of deal. So this is a headlamp, and it is freaky bright, and it's got 3 different settings. I wear these all the time, and they are absolutely wonderful. So I think I got it off Amazon, but if you're in a colder climate, I highly recommend them. Now this is Jackson. And Jackson and Lila are siblings from the same litter. You would never know because he is super short hair and he's a huge cat, just massive cat, where Lila is just mostly fuzz. We just finished our ride, just walking and trotting bareback. She was so good. This is always a nice little treat after their ride. I forgot to mention too, Blossom is about 15 hands and she's about 1,000 pounds. Thousand pounds of awesomeness. My goodness.